Welcome to the Divine Alchemizing Warrior 18. Like, subscribe, comment. I would appreciate you forever. It would help the channel out. Look here. You have the Wheel of Fortune here. So you have closed a cycle out. It has come full circle, and it was destined to do so. And now you're on a journey because you're feeling wholesome. Your spirits are high and you have clarity. You know, you had some type of breakthrough because of this clarity. And it was something that you had to do. That's why something has come full circle. So I see that you are planning on launching several projects. You're budgeting your finances and you're looking good doing it. Okay? Right now you have cash flowing. Yes. You have money flowing. And you stepped out of your comfort zone after you closed this cycle, which was destined to happen, by the way, okay? Because you had faith. You had faith, and that faith that, you know, things were going to get better. So you stepped out of your comfort zone to take on several risks, and that was leaving someone behind. Because what I see here is that you were in a relationship with someone who did not have the same values or wanted the same type of family foundation that you wanted. Because we have the 10 of coins here. So what that is saying is that you had domestic issues. And now your partner, whether you're a male or female, your partner fears of going into poverty, and you are stacking your coins. That's where you have that mindset where you want to stack your coins. Okay? You two were not on the same page. And that's where all these disagreements came in. And along with disagreements, it was these debts that you two had. Okay? Now this person, your other half, who I feel as though you're not with anymore, they feel as though, they feel as though they're outcasts or you abandoned them and, things like that. But we're going to find out more. And here we have the Ace of Coins. You're in, cash is flowing now. But Spirit is saying it's new money coming in. Okay? You're going to be blinging and looking even better. Because you look good now. Okay, you're fine. You look good now. They're crying. They are heartbroken. They feel betrayed. Because something was destined to happen. And you two was destined to break up. Because of the disagreements, the arguments. And look at here. The Jezebel. subscribe, like, and comment that I'm sure played a role in the relationship. Then we have a rich guy. So you could be the rich guy or girl, okay? Because you're blinging. You got the ace of coins. You got the queen of coins here. You got the two of coins. You're planning. You're budgeting. The cash is flowing. You got new money coming in. So, you know, they're seeing you as this rich person. See the pentacles right here? See that? All them pentacles? Yeah. Yeah, they are, it's a lot of sorrow on their end. And again, because of this Jezebel spirit. Now, they could have been the Jezebel, okay? They could have been messing with a Jezebel. Because usually people who are promiscuous, they don't mind hooking up with other people who are promiscuous. Because, you know, it's really easy. It's real easy. And they real freaky. And ain't nothing wrong with being freaky. Oh, here you go. Here you go right here. Ain't nothing wrong with being freaky. Third party. Yep. Jezebel spirit, third party. That's why y'all broke up. That's why it broke up. And like I was saying, there's nothing wrong with being freaky. But if everybody being with everyone out there, then that's messy. That's a lot of nasty energy that's being mixed up and intertwined and into everything, and then bringing it back to their supposed to be mates. So somebody going to be traveling in the future, or planning to travel now. Okay, somebody's going to be traveling. Yeah, this person was your twin flame. So, you know, twin flames, they're usually about teaching you a lesson. They're also about, these lessons turns into enhancing yourself and breakthroughs. Pulling the rose-colored lens from your eyes as well. Okay. Oh, imprisonment. Somebody's going to jail. Spiritually or in the earthly, somebody's going to jail. So your twin flame may be going to jail. You or your twin flame may be going. I don't think it's you, because they are struggling. You are planning and organizing and focus on your coins, building your coins. You know, like a powerhouse. You're trying to build a powerhouse of cash flow for yourself. And they're over here feeling betrayed, outcast, and a lot of sorrow and crying. Who knows what they're, you know, doing to make things meet. Should you have that rich guy energy? Male or female, you in that rich guy energy. So let's hope a rich guy can meet you, or gal can meet you halfway as well. He's the one to meet you be able to complement your energy. Because you got new money coming in. Not only do you have money, look at them, just the lusting. That was their problem. Their problem is they were lusting. Doesn't mean, yeah. And now that's why you separated. Gave them the boot. Gave them the boot. False narratives. And then they were talking about you after you did. They were probably talking about you while you were together, during the disagreements, during the domestic issues that you all had. Because I feel as though you two, somebody was struggling when you two were together. And it could have been you at the time when you two was together were struggling. But this false narrative that they give, they're definitely telling people something false about you now, that you're not together. Okay? Telling everybody. Family, third parties, friends. Because see, this person likes to talk. They're a talker. Okay? They're articulate. They have a way with their words, their phrases. They know how to say things to try and make it make sense. No, to make it make sense. They don't be trying to make it make sense. They be making it make sense the way that they tell their false narrative. Okay, but it's like none of it is true. None of it is true. And they're telling it to everyone, even a dog and cat. They even telling the pets these false narratives. We're talking about the pets in a negative way. Okay, telling the pet these false narratives. It's ridiculous. That's why you had to let them go. See, because they're in their south node. You're in your north node. They have a lot of negative energy around them. I want to pull from another deck. Yeah, they unstable. They are very unstable. Well, yeah, that's why you had to give them, you had to get in your Ace of Swords energy, okay? Because they were burdened. They had a lot of burdens on them. A lot of heavy burdens. It was just very messy. Okay? So you got out there. You made some plans and you got up out of there. You wasn't messing around. Okay? You left. And now it's going to be judgment. Some karma is coming. They in judgment mode. Yeah, you're a high achiever. You're a high earner. You're achieving your goals. You're achieving your goals. Subscribe, like, and comment. I will appreciate you. Yes, you are. I'm going to get some from this. What's gossip? See what comes out of here. Yeah, there's a lot of messy people out here just doing the most. For what? Because some people are just naturally messy, you know? They are naturally messy for no reason. It's like if they don't have the drama in their life, they don't think life is interesting. They don't see it as interesting. Have you ever heard someone say how much they had fun when they was in a negative environment? They was like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. You were like, but it wasn't nothing but fights there. It was nothing but arguments there. And they're saying how much fun it was. How much chaos was going on. They think that's fun. So 76 may play a part. Number 89, 29, 13. Number 50, number 66, 10, 40, 39, 97 may be significant. Yeah, they mentally unstable right now. Mentally unstable. Spirit, what we have here? Oh, me versus me. Self-competition. Personal growth. Becoming better than yesterday. My only competition. That's you. You're worrying about you. They making false narratives about you. Because you're only in competition with yourself. Trying to better yourself. And here they up going to end up in prison. And have a nerve to be talking about somebody. To the community. To it meaning everybody. The cats and the dogs. They're very unstable. That's why it was destiny. It was destined that this came to an end. How everything turned out. Because they clearly was holding you back from your money. Yeah, me versus me. That's what you all about. That means you're keeping the focus on you and what's happening with you, your plans, your finances, and the future of you. See here? They were energy vampires. That's why, remember I said you had to leave. Because they were holding you back. They were draining you. They were toxic. Toxic influence. Energy vampires. Yes. And you realize it was time to cut that cord. They can stay with their Jezebels. They could be a Jezebel. It didn't matter. Spirit said you won't believe, you won't believe the story. Okay? They were the type that gave you false promises. They exaggerated the truth, because that's what they're doing with this false narrative in their north-south node. The relationship was never what it was supposed to be. That's why the foundation could never be built, because it was never what it seemed to be. You thought it was one way. They going creating a whole nother foundation somewhere else, doing their own thing. Could be talking about you right now. Okay? Talking about you right now. See, when people exaggerate the truth, that's not the story at all. They tell you they're going to do one thing and something else come out. So you said, I got to cut the cord. I got to break the cycles, because this is just harmful. The pattern was just harmful to you. Because I feel as though you gave this person a lot. You took them back a lot. You gave them a lot of chances. And this wasn't someone this is someone you had history with. This wasn't someone you just met. And you might have been with them for a year or 6 months, something like that, or a year and a half. I'm thinking I feel as though this is someone that you've known for years. And now, after you broke this cycle and cut the cords, okay, you are saying it's time for new beginnings. It stops with you. That's why it's me versus me. That's what you're saying. You're in competition with you to enhance you, to better you, and to focus on you. You broke the cycles because you said it stops with you. You're stopping it because you were allowing this person to come back and steal your energy. You knew you were doing it, but you didn't realize you were doing it when you were doing it. But you kept doing it. It was like they had you under a spell. Okay? And they could have very well had you under some type of spell. Because people put people under spells all the time and don't even know it. Because words have spells. Okay? Thoughts have spells. When people visualize things that has spells, people can visualize a situation that they want somebody to be in and meditate on that and always thinking about that, you know, and put you in it. And that's how they get in your energy. That's one way they can get in your energy, because they are focused on you. You are the target. Okay? And you wanted freedom from this harmful pattern, and you did just that. But yeah, that's why you had to break that cycle, and it was destined. It was coming. Spirit knew it was going to happen, and Spirit allowed you to take this person back several times. Look at this, clout chaser. Several times throughout the years, many times. Because if they are Jezebel, okay, if Jezebel is in this reading, excuse me, if Jezebel is in this reading, that's not something that happened overnight. That's how they are. Subscribe, like, and comment. And if they were messing with a Jezebel, it's what they like. And now it could be that because you have experience with this person, it could be that because you are older now, okay, it could be that because you had, you know, you just snapped out of it, that you realize that you cannot change this person, and you cannot be with someone who loves Jezebels or who is a Jezebel. Because I feel as though you did not know that they were a Jezebel. You didn't know. I mean, now you knew they had cheated several times, which should have been a big indication that they was a ho. But because you loved them so much, and you know, y'all broke up, got back together, broke up, got back together, broke up, got back together, broke up, and got back together, it just never you just never thought they was that type of ho. I mean, I'm saying these are like people who like to go to orgies, who like to really just have one night stands after one night stands after one night stands after one night stands. And this was something that had never triggered your mind. That's something you never thought of. You never cared to even think about. Because you two, you know, you were in a relationship, y'all. Y'all was committed. You two were committed. So you were committed, but they were not. They were clout chasers, okay? They did anything for attention. Okay, they were greedy. They were hungry for it as well. So when people are hungry and has that Jezebel spirit, let me tell you, you cannot tell me they don't have some type of attachment on them. Some type of spiritual, demonic attachment attached to them. So with this, I want to know, what were their true intentions? You know, in a relationship, you were trying to build a foundation with them, and they are they are whore, Jezebel chaser. They are whore lover. They literally like whores. Oh, I know why. I just had a download. I know why it never occurred to you. That's the phrase I wanted to use, but I was too busy laughing. It never occurred to you that they were a Jezebel, or that they like to sleep with one night stands night after night, or, you know, on a regular basis. That's what I want to say. It never occurred to you of that. Because y'all was in a relationship. And they always appeared, or they always act as if they did not like hoes. Like if you have females or male friends, you know, that are hoes or Jezebels, and they don't like them. They can't stand them. Your own friends that are hoes and Jezebels, they can't stand them. They don't want you around them. Come find out, it's because because they know what those Jezebels, those hoes be doing when they're not with their mate. That's why it never occurred to you, because they always act like they didn't like them. They always act like it was a shame that they were the way they were, and they didn't want you around, hanging around those Jezebels, and always accusing you, yeah, because, you know, of doing things because they were doing them. And when you reflect back on a lot of stuff, you realize that they had been cheating for a very long time. And that's why it was destined that this cycle come to an end, and you start a new journey. You go on a new journey, which really relieved you of a lot. It lifted all that negative energy that your mate brought. All that negative energy went with them. It stayed with them. So when you release them, okay, when you let them go, it went with them. It did not stay with you. Because you are doing the darn thing. You hear me? All right, Spirit. What were the true intentions of this reading, of this situation? True intentions. Either party. Subscribe, like, and comment. I will appreciate you forever. Yeah, you wanted to be on the same page with your partner. You wanted to collaborate. You wanted to come together and be a force of nature. You wanted to come together as one with your man or woman and help each other succeed. That's what you wanted. Okay? And that's what stayed in your mind all those years, because if you're a person with all that's making all these plans that you are making, you talented. You have some talent because you're well organized. You know how to organize whatever it is you want to launch, whatever project it is you want, whether it's personal or business. Okay? You know how to do it well. And you just wanted to come together with your mate and help each other succeed. But you was going right, they was going left. As you pulled right, they pulled left. And they did it right under the radar. Right under your nose, they was doing it. But you was getting, you was paying attention. Yes, you were. What else? You were paying attention. And now, an adventure awaits. And a physically or emotionally expanding experience is ahead for you. So some of you are going to have some spiritual experiences if you haven't already had them. Okay. They have a lot to say about the situation. They have a lot to say. They want to vent. They want you to be a good listener as they vent, as they share their story. I don't know if you want to do that. Because when you were explaining to them how to build a foundation, when y'all had your little talks, when y'all were Netflixing and spending time together, when y'all did, I guess when they came back or whenever he or she felt as though it was time to be around you for the few minutes that they were, they weren't listening. And if they did listen, they were good actors and they were a bad actor at the same time. Because now they use bad actors as people who do things that are negative. So a good listener in this situation could be a pretender. He or she was pretending like they were listening to you. And now they just in regret of messing with this Jezebel. They full of regret. I'm disappointed with how things went with us, and I wish I could change the past. I bet he does. He or she does. You know why? Because they're going to jail. That's why. That's why. And I think it's not so much that they so much regret it. It's the fact that you figured them out. Because there was nothing but an imposter. They wasn't who they say they were. Like I said, they was a good actor and a bad actor. They were pretending. Things were not the way it seemed. At all. And now they want a big favor from you. Well, where was the favor when you were talking? Okay, they should have thought about that favor. They should have. So what's the answer, Spirit? What is the answer for this situation? I'm gonna close out with this. Pull some cards from this. The answer for our warriors. Like, subscribe, and comment. I will appreciate you forever. What's your answer for our warriors? Exchange of information, disclose information, inquire. Get some information from them. Inquire. Information is going to be, that's the answer. Any other answers? Find out more. Those Spirit is saying find out more information. What else? And reflect. Yeah, they want to disclose information. That's what it is. Okay. And they want to confess. Yeah, they want to confess and disclose information to you. But what they're going to really do is, while they are providing you with information, disclosing information, and confessing to you, okay, they're gonna they want to surrender. Yeah, they want to surrender, confess, disclose, exchange. They want to chat. They want to talk to you. They want to talk about what happened. They want to, yeah, they want to give in. Anything else? They want to love. They want to give. They want to give with an open heart. Offer without exception. Unconditional love. That's what you gave. That's what you gave. Yeah. That's what you gave. But to close out the bottom of the deck, subscribe, like, and comment. I will appreciate you forever. They are cursed forever. Warriors, you know what to do. Spirit gonna get one card from the Ascension deck for our warriors. This is for our warriors, because this third party, I mean, third parties, I'm sure they are too. Third parties and this mate, from all these false narratives, these lies that they told on the warriors, they are cursed forever. So what Ascension oracle do we have for warrior, please? This is the closing card here. Thank you. To open your psychic senses, because you do not want to go through this again. Continue to open your psychic senses, all of them, so you can stay ahead, so you can see those red flags, so you can feel, so you can sense, so you can see right through them.